Imagine you love someone so deeply that you would do anything for them. This includes being beaten, rejected, tortured, and ultimately losing your life. That's a harsh sacrifice to save someone you love. Well, that's what Jesus did. Jesus has several names today, and many of us call him Savior, Healer, Doctor, Lawyer, and Waymaker, just to name a few. According to the Bible, in the book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 1, Jesus was born in Bethlehem, in a city called Judea. Jesus' mother was a virgin, and her name was Mary. Mary was married to Joseph. However, because Mary was a virgin, God chose her to carry his son Jesus. Now, Jesus' conception was not natural and it's not common. However, this was the way God chose to bring him here on earth, to be born of a virgin. Joseph was iffy at first because he didn't think that he could marry Mary because he thought she'd been unfaithful. However, a spirit came and talked to Joseph and convinced him that all was well and that she had not been unfaithful. Joseph agreed to marry Mary, making him Jesus' stepfather. At the age of 12, Jesus went on to teach people about his biological father, which was his sole purpose for coming to earth. Jesus was a carpenter by trade, as well as a teacher and a miracle worker by destiny. Jesus was loved by lots of people for his miracles and his powerful teachings. Some of his miracles include, but are not limited to, healing the sick, raising the dead, delivering demon-possessed individuals, and so many other things. Just as people loved Jesus, there were just as many that hated him for his actions. They believed that he wasn't who he said he was, which was the Son of God. It wasn't people who didn't know God who didn't believe him. It was the very people who did believe in God that didn't believe Jesus. So these people sought out to have him crucified. Once Jesus learned that this was his ultimate fate, he cried out to his Father and asked him not to let this happen. But then he understood his purpose and he accepted his fate. One of Jesus' followers, which was one of his 12 disciples, betrayed him. His name was Judas. Judas betrayed Jesus with a kiss. He told the very people who were looking for him where his location was. That night that Judas betrayed Jesus, the soldiers came and found Jesus. Jesus wasn't angry. He wasn't upset. He knew what he had to do, so he went with the soldiers who came for him. Some of Jesus' disciples were angry, and one of his disciples by the name of Peter grew so angry that he cut off the ear of one of the soldiers. Jesus healed the soldier, but they still didn't believe. Jesus was beat and made to carry his own cross all the way to Calvary, where there he was put on a cross with nails in his hands and his feet. Before Jesus died, he asked his Father to forgive the people who had done this to him because they didn't know what they were doing. Jesus accepted his fate because he knew that he was part of a bigger plan. which was to die for a dying nation, so that we might be saved, so that he can be an advocate for us to his Father. And that is the life of Jesus Christ, the Savior.